Hey, what is going on, freedom fighters? Welcome back to Break the Chains Media. Today is Tyranny Response Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, and I am your host, Corey. What's new? What's new? Where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to start? What do you want me to say? Do you want me to talk about how, rainbows and unicorns it is? You want me to talk about how the sun is shining? I mean, it is shining. It is. The days are good. The sun is hot. We are coming into the fall. I appreciate all of the good weather that we are having here in the Mile High City. But the real complaint I have are these goddamn grifters and these goddamn shills, these fake, phony, fraudulent people here in the Mile High City, particularly the gubernatorial candidate, Joshua Griffin. Let's give it a round of applause. Round of applause for Joshua Griffin. Ladies and gentlemen, he has won the Grifter Award this year, at least from my perspective, here in Colorado. This guy is, he just keeps pulling, instead of pulling rabbits out of the hat, he keeps pulling hot, steaming piles of dog shit out of the hat. Because I don't know why he actively decides to continue to create this division and this infighting and this weird framing that the GOP in Colorado somehow owes him anything. Just the fact that the ground that he walks on, it has to be praised and kissed, because he is a man that was a Marine and he worked hard and he defended this country, and by no means am I discrediting his veteran status. I mean, obviously, I respect that aspect of him, but just because he did that doesn't make him a good candidate. Just because he says things on X doesn't mean he represents the will of the people and the constituents of Colorado. So we are going to get into that, because the fact is, folks, he's running for the governor in Colorado right now for the 2026 election, but he's also trying to fill the House District 14, Colorado House District 14 vacancy. And so he just petitioned through the Secretary of State to get his seat or to recontest the votes. So we're going to get into all that. It's quite ridiculous. And it just is another example of how the right here in Colorado acts like the left. How the right, factions of the right, have to have this, this purity test, the same kind of purity test that these leftists hold to account when we're talking about leftism. We're talking about extreme leftism and the rhetoric, whether you're talking about Democrats or progressives or leftists or socialists or communists or Marxists, for that matter. The fact that there's many flavors of the left. And, I think that we've been able to get a solid rally here in Colorado, standing up for core principle values. That is the Bill of Rights, that is limited government, that is fiscal responsibility, that is reining back legislative overreach, reining back this communist stepping forward, this communist movement in the House of Representatives, in the legislature, in the state house. Right now, the reason that Colorado and many other states are failing so rapidly is because, if you aren't aware, raise your hand, let me know in the chat if you've seen the movie Rocky Mountain Heist, if you've read the book, The Blueprint, the Colorado model, the design from the left, which instilled back in the early 2000s how the left bought Colorado, how the left made Colorado the example child, if you will, of how leftist and these extremist groups take hold, not only in politics, but in campaign financing, in nonprofit funding, in NGOs, in ideology, in the school system, in the education system, in the unions, in all of Colorado back in the early 2000s was fundamentally taken over through many different means by the left. And I say that with knowledge, and I say that because I experienced it, because I lived through it. Okay, and on that note, transitioning, still tying in all of the Joshua Griffin conversation, but tying in this current and rather arguably, honestly, unfortunate circumstance that Dr. Carolyn Borisenko, this self-proclaimed anti-communist cult leader, okay, has since come out, and she's been on Jesse Waters. She's this big figure. I would argue I don't even think she considers herself on the right. She just calls out the left, and we're gonna do a deep dive. I mean, maybe it's not a deep dive. Maybe it's like a 5 foot dive into her whole shtick, if you will, because I feel like she is riding some grifting. She smells a little grifty. She looks a little grifty, and I'm not too sure I can trust her as far as I can throw her. But we are going to get into that because she has come out and said she calls herself the modern day Yuri Bezmenov. Okay, so she's claimed herself to be making a lot of bold statements here. Okay, and I'm just going out on a limb, and we're gonna do some research on her whole angle. Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder, just picked up a video that she posted, but she blocked me, folks. She blocked me because I was only asking questions about her opinions on this recent Antifa spat that's happening right now, and this recent Antifa debacle between the federal government and Antifa. And she makes these bold claims, but then she doesn't follow up, and it's always leaving a trail of breadcrumbs. She never has answers. She says, go watch my stuff, go watch my content, go get involved, see what you can. Bitch, I've been involved since goddamn Occupy Wall Street. I've been involved since 2008. Where you been? Been bitching about this shit since 2000? 2020? Who knows? We're going to get into all that, folks. This is the first time joining Break the Chains Media. Hit that follow button. Share this video with your friends and everyone you know. Everyone who's interested in this kind of zeitgeist and this kind of conversation, because this is how we defeat it. Conversations, exposing the truth, exposing the lies, making sure everything is out there on the table. We can see it from a 50,000-foot view. That's why I do what I do here on Break the Chains Media. Today is Tyranny Response Tuesday, and we are bringing it home hard. Let's see it. Give it a round of applause. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, folks. And if you wanted to find a way you can land the landing page and support the work and do all the good stuff, breakthechains.media is the website. Breakthechains.media. You can find my Rumble live streams. If you are on Rumble, I appreciate you. Give me a thumbs up. And let me know what you think in the comments or in the chat, live chat right now. Got Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Some older articles. I am posting some newer articles here in just a little bit. If you want to support the channel physically, monetarily, with a reward for yourself, you can check out Realm Walker Hot Sauce, homemade, handmade, homegrown hot sauce. There we go. Travel the 9 realms of Norse mythology through hot sauce. You can right now currently pick up Vanaheim, orange habanero, and carrot. You can also pick up Muspelheim, red roasted pepper, and red Trinidad scorpions. You can also find my hottest batch, still trying to refine the recipe down 100%, but it is the Asgard blend, Carolina Reaper, Dragon's Breath pepper, garlic, beets, and tomato. That is how you support the channel. Made in the Mile High City here of the state of Colorado. What is going on, JJ? Appreciate you coming in. JJ333, hello. Appreciate you saying what's up in the chat. But I will say, very initially, this came out, so very quickly, where was my last live stream? Was it right here? Okay, so before I drop the hammer, because the gloves are off. I am sick and tired of it. Let me make sure that my audio isn't crooked. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, we're good. I always got to make sure, because sometimes I don't know, it's just weird. But folks, I can't stress it enough that at the end of the day, when the gloves I am going to be rather heated this live stream. So forewarning. It's gonna be hot and heavy, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it how it is, and I appreciate. Thank you, lots of Boba Fett, lots a Bob Fett. I love it, love it. Appreciate you. I am going to say this right now, and I'll probably say it a couple other times in the future. I do appreciate everyone that is in the fight right now against people who wish to see the West fall. I appreciate everyone who is willing to call out the communists, the Marxists, the radical ideologies, the dangerous people in this world, in America particularly, who are standing against the Bill of Rights, the foundation principles of our country, the Constitution, and what it means to have private property, your First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, right to assemble. All of these things are paramount to not only America, but to free people everywhere. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. All right? So that is what it means. That is what I appreciate everyone doing. Now, when we argue this, when we argue about the methods in which we achieve our goals, right? And I understand that there are many fights to be had here in the battle of ideas, here in the battle of the conflict for, the conflict of for this country, right? Some people think it's about ground battle. Some think it's about mind games. Some think it's about psychological warfare. Some people think we have to go through another World War III and millions of people's lives lost for us to actually come out and see a renaissance or see a resurrection or a resurgence of what it means, right? I don't want anybody to be unalived. I don't want any nations to fall. But at the same time, I can also very plainly state, communists aren't people. What do you got to say, Gandalf? What do you got to say, Gandalf? Communists aren't people. Okay? With that being said, I appreciate what Carolyn Borisenko has done over her tenure as a... I'm gonna call her a doctor because that's what she claims she is. She claims that she's a doctor, but is she a doctor or is she just she's just self-educated? I don't know. I tried to find it on her website, couldn't see if she actually got a doctorate, but I guess that's neither here nor there. But I appreciate everyone that's in the fight doing the work. Louder Crowder picked up her work, and she was on Jesse Waters, and we're gonna look into all that, okay? But I'm saying it right now like it is. I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. She looks, quite honestly, if I'm being honest, she looks like a potato. But I'm just trying to preface that there is some contested characters in this liberty, freedom first, America only movement that I want to make sure that we are all moving forward together. We have to stop infighting. I'll call everyone out for what it is, and I'm glad. I welcome anyone to call me out. If there's any inconsistent lines of logic or lines of thought that people can find me saying or stating, please bring it up to me. Let me know on the live stream. Let me know on my X account, Break the Chains M on X, or you can whatever you'd like to do. Let me know if you find some inconsistencies with my thought process. But the fact of the matter is, we are at an ideological war right now. We are in a war for the minds of men. We are in the war for ideological victories and physical. At this point, we are losing physical people in this fight. We lost Charlie Kirk, okay, and then the church that just got burned up by this radical, alleged MAGA guy. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's left or right. It's the fact that the ideological means what brought these people to make these decisions, okay? And that ties into the current conversation that we're having with Antifa and the radical left. And we also have the same conversation to be had with grifters in our own party, grifters in our own GOP movement, okay? These fake, phony, fraudulent, so-called self-proclaimed Republicans who think that they stand for on principle when actually all they're doing is just throwing a wrench in the gear and making this harder for all of us to move forward. Okay? Very quickly. Our event that we went to on Sunday, fantastic event by Ash in Colorado. Dozens, I would say arguably 100 people were there. The works in Wheat Ridge have now been arguably caught in the crossfires here because this company, this business, all they did was host our event. It wasn't a rally. It wasn't a political campaign. It wasn't for donations. It wasn't for anything. It was just a group of like-minded, conservative, limited government, MAGA, if you will, whatever the fuck you want to call us, individuals, not leftists, showing up to an event, drinking some beers, having some burgers, having a good time, and socializing. Well, some leftists showed up. Leftists showed up at this event, and they protested this event. Okay, you have a right to protest. No problem. No problem with protesting. But what I have a problem with, and I believe what the works has a problem with, the owner and the staff there, is when you start slandering, spreading libel and slandering a business, assuming that this business is associated with a group that they're hosting. This is legal grounds here, folks. It's dangerous, and it's completely it sets a precedent, and it's anti-American in nature, right? I've seen a lot of groupthink, doublespeak, and changing of definitions in my short life. Absolutely, and I think this is the argument is words losing their meaning. When people start calling people fascists or Nazi or let's just read this here, because this is the point I was trying to lead into. But so you have a right to protest. If you want to protest someone, go ahead. Peacefully assemble, right? But as soon as you start handing out material that is directly antithetical and is a defamation of character and is a defamation of a company or a bill or a situation, that's when we have a different problem altogether. So we're going to read this here. This is the flyer that was handed out in front of the Works the Works Sports Bar. It's a bowling alley sports bar. Super awesome place. Great food. Highly recommended if you're in the North Denver metro area, Jefferson County area. Great place in Wheat Ridge. Definitely check them out. But this was the flyers that these leftists were handing out. The Works is owned by a MAGA supporter. It bills itself as a, quote, family-friendly establishment while supporting a toxic political ideology. Things like misogyny, racism, violence, xenophobia, homophobia, Christian nationalism. Wow, all right, what the fuck? Fascism and pedophilia are not family values. Unless you also support the ugliness, please consider spending your money elsewhere and spreading the word to educate others about the nature of this business. Choose inclusivity over divisiveness. This is what real patriotism means. That in itself right there, in my humble opinion, and I am not a lawyer, that is libel. It is printed pamphleting paper that is 100% defamation of character against this establishment, against the owners, against the workers, against everything about it. 100% in my opinion. Let me know in the chat what you think, but this is unacceptable behavior from this 100%. This is a very small group of leftists, mind you. Yeah, they threw every single buzzword in there. They threw it all, right? Every pejorative they could think of against this company, this business that was merely hosting a get-together event. It wasn't like the owners and the people didn't even know it was a political event. And to be honest, it really wasn't. It was just like-minded individuals meeting together and shooting the shit. That's all it really was. So these leftists are unhinged. They are dangerous. They are. If you don't adhere to their ideology, you are the enemy. If you don't fall in line and fall in ranks, you are a threat to their livelihood. That is how leftist mindset, the liberal hive mind operates, and we're going to get into that in a little bit here before we completely tear apart ideologically Joshua Griffin and his insanity. But I'm going to play a little bit of this. Okay, let's see if we can. Let's see. Hopefully the audio is going to be okay here.
We're really just speaking out about what we experienced yesterday as a simple bar and restaurant that really enjoys anybody and everybody who wants to come and enjoy our space. We recently had a reservation that was made for a meet and greet party to come and enjoy our space, enjoy our food and our drinks as they should. And it was exposed to us over the numerous days of harassing phone calls and emails and slander that we received, which is the only reason we even found out about there was a political affiliation.
So they were getting, so the leftists in protest were getting phone calls and emails slandering and harassing this business prior to the event. Okay?
Affiliation attached to this group to begin with, because it is not a policy or anything of ours to vet or filter who can and cannot come in our business based on their religious and political beliefs. So, unfortunately, this group decided to bring it to our attention and make a big deal out of this. So we became involved and became very concerned about how it was going to affect our team, specifically my staff, and how they felt about it, and the other patrons within our building. Because we will absolutely accept anybody that wants to come in here and enjoy our space.
As you should, as a business like Michael Jordan said, you know, Democrats and Republicans both wear shoes. So Michael Jordan's not going to pick sides when it comes to operating and running a business.
They decided they were going to hand out flyers, personal slander towards myself. If they are unhappy with the group that is here, that's perfectly fine. I fully support their right to peaceful protest and to express their opinions, as long as it doesn't have a negative impact on the business, which of course it will when you start bringing out and using crazy, just unbelievable words to assess somebody. They don't even know who I am, know my name, know who we are as a team.
All right, so we can if you want to watch the rest of this video, come. Libs of TikTok reported on it. I shared it. It's got over 1 million views right now. We all commented. We're all here. We can see the left is a very common thing. Love the work that Libs of TikTok does, but it's embarrassing how often our state is highlighted by that account. It is a shame. It kind of freaks me out to some degree that this is how quickly Colorado's fallen, and this actually ties beautifully in with what I'm trying to address in this. Oops, sorry, not necessarily trying to do that, but what I am trying to expose right now in the here and now. Okay. And we will get into this Hegseth thing. I was gonna do my whole Tyranny Response Tuesday on the Department of War and this whole Hegseth conversation, folks. If you enjoy this, we are about to talk about gubernatorial candidate Joshua Griffin and his trash game about working with the Secretary of State to recall the vacancy election for HD 14. Hit that thumbs up button and share this video. If you're on X right now, if you are on X, share this video on X. I can't see how many people are watching it, but just repost this. Repost it and let's get it out. Let's make this video go, because I'm about to drop some fucking hammers that I don't really give a shit, because the gloves are off, baby. Let's fucking go. Okay? Gandalf, what do you got to say? Thank you, sir. Thank you. The wise wizard always says it right. So, listen. Just because it's here, I'm going to play it. And I'm not going to get too far into it, but, or you know what? I'll end the stream with Hegseth. I want to get into the meat potatoes right now, because I'm just itching at it, folks. JJ333, the way the left cannot differentiate the fact and opinion is why everything becomes political. The guy said he had no idea there was anything political. Absolutely. If and this is the point I'm about to make. The left is the ones who make it a problem. Look at what's happening with Antifa right now. If Antifa was not in the streets fundamentally confronting and instigating confrontations with ICE officers or federal agents, there would be no reason for the crackdown or the quote-unquote fascist takeover that Trump is allegedly doing, which is just within his executive branch power. Okay? If the left wasn't so radicalized, if the left wasn't so extreme in their ideological thought and the process in which their brains are so twisted around, if they weren't the ones standing there being obnoxious buffoons, ICE could do their fucking job. The police could round up criminals. Immigrants could be deported, and everything would just be going just as our laws are written in the books right now. Everything would be fucking fine. Okay? Because government works in a pendulum, folks. The left does one thing, the right does another, and then year over year, administration over administration, we see more. We see a, oh no, it's a Marxist ideology. Oh no, it's a fascist ideology. Oh no, back and forth. The one hand washes the other, right? This is how the system has and will always operate. Understanding what the founding principles of our nation is the guiding light for me personally. When I say I'm a constitutional conservative, limited government, fiscal responsibility, Bill of Rights type of guy, that is my guiding light. That is my guiding platform. I judge all of my thoughts and all of my logic and all of my processes on what it means to be in a constitutional republic where the people are represented by the government and the government is not instituting tyrannical or Orwellian or authoritarian edicts. Whether an authoritarian could be leftist or right. It could be either side of the pendulum. Doesn't matter. It's the encroachment and the infringement on private property, personal rights, and infringements on our Bill of Rights, right? That's how I see the things. Okay? When someone's in our country illegally or breaking our laws, or manipulating our system, or laundering money, or funneling money through NGOs and nonprofits, and gaming their way through the system, whether it's and I kind of went from immigrant to politician, but this is the problem we see, folks. Calling out all criminals on all levels, whether you're breaking our border policy, or you're laundering and embezzling taxpayer money for your own enrichment. It does not matter. You are breaking the law, and everyone should be treated the same under our laws. Now, the problem is, and what's happened here in Colorado, is that our legislature has been co-opted, and our legislature has been taken over many years ago by the radical left. So Colorado's laws have fundamentally been changed, rewritten, and codified, and then passed because of Hickenlooper, because of Polis, because of the Gang of Four, because of these people back in the early 2000s. The Rocky Mountain heist. I will post it on my stream. I will post it on my let me just do it right now. I'm just going to do it right now. Rocky Mountain heist, because everyone should know everyone should watch this video. It is 45 minutes long, and it is probably the most impactful thing. Where should I put this? That's the real question. I guess I'll put it in the chat right here. I'll put it right there. Maybe will that work? Hopefully that works. I don't know. That's the link. Save that for later, folks. Save that video and watch it later. It's 45 minutes long. It's fantastic. But Colorado Blueprint is the plan, is the model for many other states, for other states and other legislatures to be taken over by the left, by the radical ideology. Okay, let's go up here, okay? I'm just gonna keep ranting, folks. Let me talk about this, okay? Joshua Griffin, okay? Let's see, because this guy is a grifter, Griffin the Grifter, okay? Can't wait till he blocks me. I'm sure he will at one point. I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Okay? What do you got to say about it, Gandalf? What do you got to say?
Shall not pass!
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are not going to be governor of Colorado. You are not going to be governor of my state, Joshua Grifter Griffin. Okay? Check it out. Okay? He networked. He did something with. Okay. He sent something out to the Colorado Sun. The Colorado Sun is a leftist trash rag of a fucking news article, news reporting here in Colorado that I thought was a little bit. I thought they were a little bit honest and a little bit, non-biased, but they're extremely biased. And Jesse, Aaron, Paul, it's just a shame that the way they write, the way they frame their articles is just, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, Joshua Griffin, he's running for governor here. He's running for governor of Colorado. Okay? But at the same time, he filed a complaint because he wanted to run for the vacancy for House District 14. Okay? Let me read it for you. To be clear, the rumors, yes, I did file a complaint regarding the HD14 vacancy committee. For the record, I am not backed by, nor do I seek backing from Rocky Mountain gun owners. And that's a whole nother conversation, folks. This whole infighting against Rocky Mountain gun owners and this whole grift that's happening against Second Amendment groups here in Colorado ties right back into the Rocky Mountain heist narrative that happened back in 2013 when they pushed the magazine ban, when they pushed back at the time was one of the most extreme gun legislations the Colorado's ever seen. You think Wild Wild West. When you think of Wild Wild West, you think of cowboys, gunfights. You think of open range. You think of Americana, right? Ranchers, farmers. No. Colorado makes sure we have gun control. Make sure we have now they just passed the most authoritarian gun control in the country, Senate Bill 003. It's gonna be more restrictive than California's current gun control legislation. But that's a whole nother tangent. Colorado is the model, folks. Colorado is the model. Okay? This complaint is about the process and the gatekeeping, not about Ava Flanell. To make sure he's not targeting her, right? Ava Flanell, just so everyone's aware, 100% support Ava Flanell. This is not, I have nothing to do. We don't, all I do is I support her because I see her and I've stood side by side with her when we were at the Capitol testifying against these gun control bills, okay? And I support her being the vacancy nominee, okay? She was originally appointed the vacancy nominee, but then Joshua Griffin comes in and files a complaint regarding the HD14. So how the hell are we unifying, and how the hell is the GOP working together here in Colorado if he's going to file complaints and he's going to do infighting when this doesn't even need to be happening. This doesn't even need to be an issue. But he makes it an issue. If she remains, I extend my congratulations and she has my full support. Prior to submitting the complaint, I even gave GOP Jarvis a courtesy heads up. The issue is with the conduct of the meeting itself, not the elected individual. Okay. Well, why are you tagging Second Syndicate and CSSA? Why are you tagging other gun groups? Why are you tagging other gun? Why is this even a gun conversation? Okay? Ava Flanell is obviously for everyone who's not aware, Ava Flanell is a gun instructor. She's a Second Amendment supporter, firm believer of the Second Amendment here in Colorado. She's a gun instructor. She works with the gun lobby prior to her elected seat that she was running for. She's a 2A author and an advocate. She's on the Ava Flanell show. She has a space in the Second Amendment community here in Colorado. Okay, but the fact that Joshua Griffin has to file a complaint about the vacancy slot and then tag all these other gun companies. Okay, I just don't see it being. a good faith decision for him to be doing this. If we are in such a vulnerable place right now in Colorado Republican politics, and then you have this person, this yellow belly snakeskin coming in here and creating more division, creating more back and forth, creating more unnecessary rabble rousing. Okay, it's just completely deters the whole fucking movement. And it's a shame that this guy came out of nowhere, folks. And I've got more dirt on him, and I'm gonna hold it close to the chest until the time is right. But let's just say some of his information that's publicly available is not as credible and is not as official as it should be if one were to be running for the governor of Colorado. Let's just say that. He has filed his paperwork with interesting information, and that's all I'm going to say about it right now. But I do have some other stuff that I'm going to hold on to. I don't want to get into it, and I'm not trying to be the one to keep poking the bear. I don't want to be the one that keeps dividing, because I'm just trying to make sure people are aware that this person, to me, in my humble opinion, is at minimum, he's either an idiot and at most he's incompetent, and his behavior and his rhetoric towards this community, and the fact that he continues this game that he's playing, right? And the fact that he does, I feel like a lot of his posts, a lot of his responses are very AI driven. Okay. I agree with Fred here. My theory, based on nothing but having watched him, is that he's a Democrat or a neocon plant who's going to claim at some important juncture of this election cycle we wouldn't vote for him because he's black, all in an effort to discredit MAGA, or he's just a buffoon. I think it could go many different ways. But I think he's a Democrat playing the weak and vulnerable Colorado GOP for idiots. I also think he's a buffoon. He blocks many people. He's very divisive, and he doesn't have a good leg to stand on. Okay. So, I'm sitting here running this stuff, but I don't even think he's a rhino. I just think he's a dishonest, disingenuous human. Okay, I said it right here. Attention, Colorado. In my honest opinion, gubernatorial candidate Joshua Griffin is a deceptive, dishonest, AI post-writing, wolf in sheep's clothing, unelectable human. His petition against the vacancy appointment for Colorado House District 14 shows exactly the kind of GOP he is. Completely fake. What else you got to say? What else you got to say to that? Okay? Let me know what you think in the chat, folks. I wish our elections had integrity. Colin, I see you, man. I totally see you. It's a shame that it has to be this way. Why does it always have to be this way? Why do we always have to infight? Why do we always have to, rabble rouse and all this dumb shit? I don't want to do it. I want to focus on winning. Focus on the fucking goal. But we're sitting here bitching and moaning and bickering and all around all this other dumb shit, completely unnecessary, right? That's how I see it. But no. This guy honestly came out of nowhere too. I don't even think he's lived here over a year. If you're watching on X, make sure you share it. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you are about this conversation. And having these conversations, okay? I'm going to jump back here. Having these conversations is what makes this important. Or it not just makes it important, but makes this worthwhile. Having difficult conversations about principles and policies and people and what we need to do and where we should be going and how we should be rallying together in an idea, in a common goal, in a common narrative, in a common direction. This is what we should be doing. Okay? I'm not the one that started. I'm not the one that's picking the fight. I am the one merely bringing it to people's attention that say, hey, did you know that the gubernatorial candidate Joshua Griffin is contesting the vacancy position of a House district in which he hasn't even lived in for over 12 months? He hasn't even lived in the district he's trying to claim vacancy for, but he hasn't even lived there for the amount of time to be able to retain the vacancy slot. Makes me wonder why he came here in the first place and where he even came from. Some of the other information that I have that I'm still holding close, that I will not disclose at this time, makes me think that him and others of his ilk were placed here or planted here to create division and to sow in-party fighting and to sow discontent with what could have been, what still can be, and what is currently a very real and very palatable conservative resurgence and a Republican renaissance here in Colorado, particularly. And they do this, and whatever higher ups, I don't know, whatever powers that be, that wants to press the valve, push the pressure back down, push the conservatives back down, because we are fed up here in Colorado, because we've seen it year over year, because we were victims of the Rocky Mountain heist back in the mid-2000s, late 2000s, during the Obama era, when they completely siphoned and they completely eradicated everything that Colorado was. Colorado was, for all intents and purposes, a red state. Red governors, red House majority, red Senate majority. I think only a few districts were blue at the time. And then the next thing you know, within a few years, Obama won Colorado, and it's never been red since. Think about that. And because of that, like I said, I encourage everyone to watch Rocky Mountain Heist. It's a 45-minute video. Okay? Shows you the Colorado plan. That's what they call it across the country. Okay? It's been happening for a very long time. The Colorado plan. They use unions. They use nonprofits. They use teacher unions. They use They use workers unions. They use NGOs. They use different factions. And they use the gay rights groups back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. They used mainly they rode through teachers and gay rights and nonprofits back in the 2000s. But they're doing the same thing now. They do the same thing now. They use those to funnel candidates, to funnel money, to cycle money into the system, to then get candidates elected, to then have these candidates rewrite the legislature, enact communist Marxist legislation, to then fundamentally change how Colorado is done. 2013 arguably was a heavy nail in Colorado's coffin, only because that was the same year that they allowed illegal immigrants to get identification through the DMV, through the State Department, it was also the same year that they allowed that they instituted nationwide. Or I'm sorry, the same year that they voted to approve statewide mail-in ballots, vote by mail. The same year that they allowed for immigrants to get identification through the DMV. And all of this ties in with the influx of migrants, every person that came over the border. They're not illegal immigrants, folks. They're undocumented Democrats. That's what they're called. Undocumented Democrats. Okay? Colin Fitfield, definitely planted as a controlled opposition. 100%. I agree. But see, this is the thing, folks. I have been on the beat, on the ground, talking about this for a very long time. Okay? Might not have been as internet present in the late 2000s, and in the I started making a lot more videos before COVID, about 2017, 2018, and then COVID hit, then chaos ensued, and then I jumped back into it, and then I've been pretty consistent for the last few years about various different issues, but I've been doing on-the-ground stuff since 2009, folks. I've been doing on-the-ground stuff, activist work here in Colorado for over 15 years or more, okay? And for anyone who doubts me, I've got a fucking storied history. Maybe it's not in video form, but I've got friends that can vouch for me. I was on the ground. We were protesting Newt Gingrich. We were protesting Al Gore. We were protesting Obama. We were protesting Bush. We were protesting the two-party system of this back-and-forth pendulum that I continue to talk about. But right now, what we are seeing right now fester is the controlled opposition from the left, the long history of the ideological extremist left that is now. It is now sowing season for the seeds that were planted in the early to late 2000s, okay? In 2010, 2015, leftists planted seeds in the minds of men and the minds of radicals and in the Antifa fronts and the Black Bloc and the Tankies and all these people running around playing, LARPing as revolutionaries, okay? Over a decade ago. These people are now 10 years older. They're maybe mid to late 20s. They're even more radicalized. They're even more devout in their zealotry beliefs of that capitalism is evil and the West is wrong, and there's a spectrum of genders and socialism is the key. Karl Marx is God. Okay, they're and then you get into the fringe topics of trans ideology and furry ideology and gender theories and all of this weird dissolving of reality. But this is how the minds are manipulated of the left, right? They fall into these psychological traps that encapsulate a weak-willed mind, okay? And then they groupthink around a common ideology, and then they galvanize. They galvanize in that revelry, right? They double down in that thought process, however skewed of the world view it might be. That's what they do. The left does that all the goddamn time. Says Sparky, I see you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for repping. But this is the thing, folks. And Steven Crowder, Louder Crowder, just came out. They did another. He hasn't been doing a lot of change my minds. But post Charlie Kirk, we're in a post-Kirk America. Like I said, anyone who's been in the chat before, we're in a post-Kirk America. Okay? The era has shifted. The pendulum has swung. Like we're in another place now, folks. But Steven Crowder just came out and said, the left is violent. Change my mind. And that's what we're seeing right now. The left is actively violent, okay? And the federal government is responding to their violent uprising, to their violent arguably an insurrection type level of instigation, right? No, obviously they're not overthrowing the government, but they're actively in the way of ICE and federal law enforcement from doing their job. Okay? What do we see? What do we see now? Now we see it. Now we see it for what it is, folks. Where is it at? Okay? I'm just gonna bring this up. Okay? Because we're at the point now. We're dropping in. We are dropping in hot. If you enjoy this kind of conversation, give me a thumbs up. And follow this channel. We do live streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today is Tyranny Response Tuesday. We are responding to the tyranny of the world. We're responding, making sure we are breaking through the lies and deception of the world, of the waves, of space and time in this beautiful place we call life. Okay, that is what we do here on Break the Chains Media. Tyranny Response Tuesday, We Are Change Wednesdays, and short form videos whenever I can fit them in. But I appreciate you all being here. We are jumping into it, and we are calling out Carolyn Borisenko, anti-communist cult leader, self-proclaimed herself. Okay, folks? And I will say this. She was following me. And I'm still following her if I could, but she blocked me, folks. She blocked me earlier today because for some reason she didn't think I was being, I don't even know why, because I asked her a simple question, and I'll pull up the goddamn receipts, folks. Okay? I'll pull it up. Okay? She posted this. And okay, before I get into it, I'll say it like I said it earlier. I appreciate everyone who is involved with exposing the evils and the communist ways of the left. I appreciate all of her hard work and what she has done. Claiming, she has said, and she has claimed many times that she has infiltrated. She sat in with these communists, with these Antifa types, with these different gender studies, with these these abortion clinics and whatever else have you. She has done that. Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have a hard time believing she is genuine. Not saying that what she is exposing isn't accurate or isn't true. I think she has ulterior motives. I personally think that she is dishonest in her intention, and her rhetoric seems very elusive. She, for lack of a better term, she might be grifting on this, folks. What does it say right here? Buy my book. Right above her head, it says, buy my book. I never once, myself, all I encourage you to do is, if you like hot sauce, you can support the channel. Buy some hot sauce, right? But I don't know. To me, it just seems like a grift, especially when I asked her, very honestly, mind you, this was when she followed me and I followed her. And I think it was about like 2 months ago, I think the beginning of summer, during the anti-ICE protest, okay? I went and protested. I went in with the protesters. I had a camera and I was live streaming and I was there with the anti-ICE protesters. I was in there, folks. I was doing it. I did it. Okay? I was fucking doing it. Okay? When I posted the video, I got a lot of traction. I got a lot of exposure. I don't know whether I saw her first or she saw me. Regardless, we followed each other because I saw, oh, she's an anti-communist and she does live streams. She talks about, exposing the left and exposing cult-like behavior, exposing the communists infiltrating America. Great. Totally exactly what I'm doing. We're on the same fucking page. We get it. I'm exposing communists. I hate leftism. I hate this infiltration of these Marxist legislatures that are in the offices right now in Colorado. That's what I'm saying. Like, I see what she's doing. Like, I'm there. We resonate. Okay? She commented 5 hours ago. It's probably early. I haven't refreshed this because since she blocked me, I don't want to lose this. Antifa declared war on ICE over a week ago. Why haven't we seen mass arrests yet? Honest question. It's an honest question. Oh, Melinda, you're just getting into it. Yeah. No, you're good. We are getting into some good stuff right here. I appreciate you jumping in right now. So she posted this, and then I commented. I said, something's brewing. I think feds or ICE is waiting for Antifa to royally fuck up and then drop a big hammer. Meaning, like, because of what's happening in Portland, because of what's happening in Chicago, because of what already happened in LA, you're seeing other little pockets of Antifa bubbling up in Texas. Okay, you're seeing things happen. Okay, that's why I said I think ICE and the feds are waiting for something for these leftists to do something stupid before they really crack down. When she brings up, why haven't we seen mass arrests? It makes sense. And then she says, doubt it. And then I ask, Why do you say that? You know Antifa is going to escalate, and I wanted to say and do something dumb, but I said, you know Antifa is going to escalate and do something dumb. And then she comments this strange comment. Bro, you have no idea what they've already been doing then. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Bro, you have no idea what they've already been doing then. I asked again, are you saying they won't? What are you even suggesting in this regard? I'm half a country away. I know what they are doing, at least where I am. Not one bit of it was a lie, fabrication, instigation. I wasn't being rude. I was just trying to say, hey, I see what's happening here. I see what's going on in my neck of the woods. Why do you think that the feds wouldn't just do a crackdown? Okay? I'm asking her. And then she says, I'm saying that most of you have no clue what the left has already been doing, and that includes the White House. Okay? Still, you're not giving me any answers, you're not giving me any solutions, you're not giving me anything. You're just breadcrumbing me right now, okay? I said, okay, do enlighten us. Are we talking dirty bombs or glitter bombs? I'm trying to make a joke of it. I'm trying to have a fun time. I'm trying to laugh. I'm laughing. We're laughing, right? This is funny. I'm making a joke. Right? This is a funny thing. I'm trying to have a good time, right? I'm making a joke of it. She is so thick in her fucking stupid sunken eye skull, she doesn't realize I made a goddamn joke. Wow, bro. You have no clue. Watch my content and learn. Or don't. Whichever. And then I said, why are you so hostile? I'm asking for insight and you tell me to rifle through your content to decipher what could easily be said in a single post? I know what I'm up against here in Colorado. You sound like a fearmonger without proposing solutions. Let me know in the chat. What do you think in the chat? What do you am I spouting stupidity? What did I go wrong in this conversation? Like, let me know, because it to me none of this interaction validates her. None of this interaction validates her blocking me. Right? I was following her, but I can't now because she blocked me. But let's listen. I'm not listening to this whole 20-minute thing, but let's listen. Okay?
Now, before we get into that, I do want to do something else, though, because I want to show
like
you guys, this is another example of basically the Trump administration completely dropping the ball. And I have so much I want to say about the fact that there were almost no arrests at the protests over the weekend.
Yeah.
This is one of the things, like,
Yesterday she was saying how she's a fascist and she wants, like, she's a fascist because she wants this and she wants everything locked down and she's hardcore, all this. Great. Honestly, I don't get, whatever. Not the best, not the best look in my opinion. I mean, but it does go with your look, because this is not the best look. Okay. And I will be a little bitch because I can. Fuck it. Whatever. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. But, what is she even saying?
Trump
here?
administration knew that Antifa was going to attack the Broadview ICE detention center outside of Chicago, and they did nothing about it. Which is worse? I don't even know which is worse. Did the Trump administration have no clue this was coming at all, and that's why they didn't do anything about it? Or did the Trump administration know exactly what they were doing, and they still did nothing about it? Which do you want? Because there were basically no arrests outside of Chicago on Saturday. There was basically no arrests in Portland last night. We're going to do Portland coverage later tonight.
All right. Listen, folks. I'm gonna stop yelling for a minute because it makes me tired having to defend the Trump administration. It makes me tired having to defend what I've already been saying for a very long time, is that the government does this type of shit so that way they can justify the means to the end. As it always does. As they always do. Okay? the Trump administration, I guarantee you, her thinking that she is the end all be all, the arbiter of truth. I was in the trenches and I did all the stuff against communism, and I'm an anti-communist and I know everything about it. And look at me, and I made a little flow chart and a PowerPoint presentation of what it means to be in the left and their ideology. I know everything. You don't know anything because I did it all. I did all the hard work. Bitch, sit down. Sit down. I've been doing this arguably longer than you. I can't say how long because I don't know when you started there, sweetheart. But I'll go to your website here, and it says, it really hit the fan in 2020 when the leftist cancel mobs took over my knitting community. Okay, so it looks like it's the locals that did not make arrests. Exactly. Okay, she's clout chasing, and she enjoys the spotlight. Okay, this is her original Trump rally interview from 2020. This is her, folks, from 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever, 5 years ago. So she has an extensive history of being on Fox News, being used by the Daily Wire, by Laura Ingraham. Like, she's in there. Sure. Fantastic. You've been in the trenches, bitch. She came here. Oh, look. She was under Socialism Conference, one of the largest revolutionary leftist events in the country. Wore a chest binder for 3 days to blend in with hundreds of radical activists. Okay. Sure. And I think everyone should take their health very seriously, and I congratulate anyone who has moved the scale in a positive direction. Mad Stork, I appreciate you saying that because I feel the same way. I've been there too, man. I've been there too. Okay, keeping the weight off is tough, and I will say right now I'm not in the best of shape, but hey, I'm still healthy and I'm still trucking. Okay. Point is, folks, is that she is a clout chaser, in my opinion. She enjoys the spotlight. She enjoys being the arbiter of truth. You have to follow and know and do exactly what I do. Here's her. I downloaded this from her website. You can, by all means, folks, please. I am not bashing her, and I'm not defaming her or anything. Go look at her website. Go check it out. Because I'm saying what she is saying is not at all wrong. I just think she has a skewed interpretation of what it means. And unfortunately, she felt inclined to block me when I initially just tried to have a conversation with her about what her thoughts were about why the feds didn't give up mass arrests. That's the only thing I did, and that's why I'm adding her to my Tyranny Response Tuesday, because a leftist is the only type of person who would block someone rather than have a civil conversation with them. Why would she block me rather than explain her position? I don't know. You let me know in the chat. I just think she's clout chasing. I think she enjoys this. She loves breadcrumbing people, right? Meet the modern day Yuri Bezmenov. Okay, sure. I know who Yuri Bezmenov is. I understand the four pillars of how to destroy a nation. Okay, I understand all of this. Okay, Carolyn Borisenko doesn't just analyze the Marxist philosophy; she infiltrates modern leftist organizations and events inside to expose it in real time. Here's a question for you, folks. Here's a question for you. If she's so well known to doing this, how has she not been caught by the leftists? Wouldn't you think by now that she'd have been outed if they really didn't want her there? Just a thought. Maybe, just maybe, she's a double agent. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Mad Stork sees it. Thank you. You get the gold star for the day, Mad Stork. You get the gold star. Just because Yuri Bezmenov told us how the KGB operated did not make him a good person. Right? He 100% was aware that he did the means to the end, and we are seeing the end of that generational push from the communists, from the Marxists, from these ideologues from decades prior. The seeds that were planted way back when are now being fruited upon right now and harvested in the streets of Portland, in the streets of Chicago, on the border of Texas, in the East Coast, at ICE facilities nationwide. It's happening right now. Okay? Thank you, Mad. Thank you. We're about to do that right now. Okay? She has... So, in the documentary Rocky Mountain Heist... No, Melindy, she is honestly a nobody. I mean, I wouldn't say she's a nobody. She's got 94,000 followers on X, but... Melindy, you don't have to know her. I'm just saying she's been on Fox. She was on Jesse Waters like 2 weeks ago. Steve Louder or Crowder just picked up a segment of her bit, exposing the socialists and the plan of the socialists. She enjoys this recognition level, right? I did the work. Look at me. But in the documentary Rocky Mountain Heist that everyone should see because it's a Colorado model. It's how it's happening across the country. They made a good analogy. They said politics is like a football game, right? Politics is like your two favorite teams going at it, right? Well, this is what happened in Colorado. Instead of the two teams going at it and making sure you have a good quarterback or a good running back or making sure your team's up to snuff, okay? The Democrats bought the entire stadium. So it doesn't matter what team wins or loses. The stadium makes the money, folks. That is what the Democrats did in Colorado 10, 15 fucking years ago, and I lived it and I'm experiencing it now. And just because she puts a lens on it that it's about gender and it's about ideology and this is just a piece of the pie. This is just a slice of the entire ethos that is the left. Okay? If you want to make it further, you want to take it down further, leftism is their religion. They want genderless, familyless, propertyless. This is the Marxist utopia. They want everyone to be the tabula rasa, the blank slate. No one's better than anyone else, and anyone can be whatever they want, and no one's more special than anyone else. It's a we mentality, not a me mentality. That is Marxism on its face. But she has lensed it with this weird layering of gender and this weird layering of queer ideology, which is, it's not incorrect, it's just not the entire thing. And I think this is a red herring. What do we got? Yeah. Today, Break the Chains goes off on someone who blocked him, so he goes deeper and finds more wrong. Well, I am an Elder X, and only MSM is from the clips and other shows when they could simply tell us what was said. Right. So, yeah, she basically says, go look at all my hard work. Go look at all the stuff I did. I go, I'm not saying I won't, but I was just trying to have a conversation. Be like, hey, give me your 2 cents. You want... Why do you even post stuff on X if you're just going to block people? Why do you even do that? And you know what? And see, so now she's playing the game, right? I don't know. She's seeing all this and she's sitting here and so Marxism versus individual terrorism. The far left is taking to the streets. And here's the thing. I'm not like, she's going to keep doing what she's doing. But like, look at, you want to find some dirty shit? Look at some of this older stuff that she was posting about. This is an older quote. Yeah. You send it to me on Discord. Looking for people to get out the word. I need an army of people screaming whiteness means capitalism every single time a conservative influencer tries and tries. So I want to see if I can, because I am blocked. I want to see if she said anything about Charlie Kirk. Okay? Because and she might have even deleted it because she posted something about her thoughts with Charlie Kirk prior to his death. Like, look at this one. Look at. I'm sorry. She just is not very camera friendly. I mean, I might not be the shining model of beauty and fame, but my sweetheart. I mean, at least like the hair. I don't know. Like there's something looks very like it needs to be brushed. I don't know. But I mean, I guess if you are trying to go undercover as Antifa, you do kind of look that way. Yeah. So Quartering called her out. Oh my gosh. I mean, the Quartering has a much bigger channel than I do, so I don't know if she's ever going to see it or not. But yeah. So proof that fat retard. Yeah. I don't know where he lied, but I'm looking at your website right now. Look at, she's going back and forth. Maybe, well, she blocked me, so I don't know if she's ever going to go back and forth with me. If she does, thank you. I welcome it because I think we're going to agree on a lot more things than we disagree. And she can call me out on my looks too. I'm not a beautiful person either. Maybe I am. What do you think, Pat? What do you chat? What do you think, chat? Do you think I'm a beautiful person? I'm just kidding. Chill. Let me see. Let me pull it up right now. Hold on. Let me go here. Let me see. So, bada bing, bada boom. Let me pull it up. Thank you, Stork. Right. So you saying, are you, what you sent me is that, hold on, let me see. Just sent you a very old image. I believe it's from 2014, sometime around then. It's a real image and an actual saying among the tankies. Yes. Exactly. Agreed. 2017. Either way, it's old. This is old rhetoric that has been going on for a very long time. And are you insinuating that this is maybe where she thinks? Is this her train of thought? I mean, Stork, what are your opinions on this character? And like I said, like I'm not saying that what she's doing is wrong. I'm just saying that there's a larger picture to it, and I feel ashamed that we weren't able to have a civil conversation based on a simple question that I was trying to bring up and I was trying to discuss with you. You just block me because you think I'm uneducated or some shit. Okay? I don't want to keep ripping her apart, and I'm not here to do that, but I'm just like I guess it is interesting that like if I'm blocked, I mean I can't like any of her posts, but this author has blocked you so you can't perform this action, but I can still see her page, which is interesting. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Mad Stork. No, I'm saying that liberals are lower on the totem pole and Democrats shouldn't be on it. Democrats are the skin suit. Yes, 100%. Mad Stork, you get it. And this is the thing. I think I personally think it should be like this. Keep the colors, keep it however you want. It should say up here, it should say liberal. Okay? Down here, progressive. Here should be Democrat socialist. Here should be, I don't know, communist. And here should be fucking Marxist. Are Marxists different than communists, or are they the same? What are your thoughts? I think communism, Democrat socialist, I don't know, but I think that there's, the revolutionary socialist, yeah, believes capitalism must be overthrown entirely, rejects reform, advocates for revolution, abolition, and radical restructuring of society. That is, that's anarchy. I mean, honestly, you can't be a socialist and want to overthrow. Like, you can be a revolutionary. I would argue that that's just straight anarchist. Like, to have a radical restructuring of society into what end? If you're restructuring of society into what, right? Is that, yeah. Right. Exactly. Mad Stork, I see you. And to lens all of this with just a gender ideology, okay? Go spend time on our website, folks. I'm not saying that she's inherently bad. I'm just saying she's a little full of herself. Can we thumbs up in the chat if we agree that she might just be a little full of herself and she might be a little high on her own product. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, great that you're doing this work, but I think that you're missing the fact that, in all honesty, the left and the Antifa that we see right now, these ideologues, these extremists, these LARPers, are just fucking they're just the fucking pawns. They're the pawns to the game. They are the instigators. They are the provocateurs. Meanwhile, you have the NGOs and the unions and the teachers and the universities and these not-for-profits funding and funneling campaigns and working with politicians already in office to then perpetuate more people into more positions of power, into more elected offices, whether it's county commissioners, whether it's attorney generals, whether it's secretary of states, whether it's election officers, many different positions in all tiers and all branches of government. They even get people in deans of the universities, okay? Representatives for unions. They put these people in, okay? And then they control all aspects of the system, okay? So then they control the labor unions. They control the teachers unions. They control the corporations who buy the buildings in downtown Denver for pennies on the dollar when they should have been going for they're going for 10 times to 50 times more the value, okay? They get these high-end these high-end big money people involved, CEOs involved, and then they push the Pritzkers of the world, okay? Like the Bloombergs of the world, okay? Like the Polises of the world, like the Gavin Newsoms, okay? Yes, excuse me. His name, do not call him Gavin Newsom, Mad Stork. It's Nancy Pelosi's nephew, right? Is that what it is, right? Mad Stork, the communist end goal is always no government, which is actually anarchy. The issue is that always devolves into authoritarian and never leaves it. That's why real communism has never been actually achieved. Yep, no, and that's it. Communism works with less than 100 people, and that's, I think, the best way to say it. Yes. It's always the nephew. Her real problem is that she isn't well read. Exactly. Well, here's the thing. Maybe she's so well read that she refuses to recite the literature, and she wants to make her own little worldview of it. Right? Maybe that's it. Okay. No, Colin. I see that aspect too, Colin, on YouTube. These people on the streets right now, these Antifa on the street right now, they genuinely believe what they're doing is revolutionary. They genuinely believe that they are fighting a fascist authoritarian takeover. Okay? They are so skewed in their world. Sorry, my dogs are... Hold on. Oh no, he's in the house. The dogs next door are going crazy. Anyways, the fuck was I even saying? God damn it. Yes, these people, the boots on the ground Antifa, are passionate and they're angry and they're misguided. They are misguided souls. They are souls adrift in the river Styx, unsure of which way to go. They have a coin for passage. They do not know how to ride the waves of the river. Okay, this is the problem, right? They have been through their upbringing, through their institutions, through their education, through their teachers, through their jobs, through every aspect of their lives since they were children. They have been told that capitalism is bad, that the Republicans are evil, and the liberalism is going to save you. Once you have your little, everyone has their little slice of identity, and once you have this little, oh, I'm a furry, or oh, I'm trans, or oh, I'm a rainbow starfish unicorn, mermaid, whatever it is, that makes them feel special. Then they find a community in this little skewed world, and then they all start feeling special. It's a big liberal circle jerk. That's all it is. Okay? And I just think that, I wish I could have had a conversation with her. And maybe once I get some real on-the-ground journalism in my city, in Denver, and actually show her the work that I've done and I've been doing and I've networked with and I'm aware of and I understand the on-the-ground tactics, I am what Tim Pool and I are on that same level, except I don't have the big platform like Tim, so I can get down there still and get in the fray with my camera, okay? I've got a camera. Let me show you. Okay? I have a camera. I've got this tiny little fucker that I wear right here when I'm in the fray, and I can record what happens, when it happens, if and when I can, if and when I can make it, so long as I am not at work and I'm able to go. I have got my riot gear in the back seat of my car 24/7. If in fact I do get information on a riot, on a protest, on an anti-ICE meetup, or on an Antifa excursion, whatever, on a black bloc.
But the fact.
Okay, she infiltrates these sitting meetings, or these struggle sessions, or these live streams, or these committees, or convention center events, shit like this. I'm the one, boots on the ground, masked up, strapped down, camera on, let's fucking go. That's me. Okay? I see the tactics in real time. I know what they're doing, and I can see the provocateurs, and I know what's happening around me. That's what I do. That's what I've always done since I was fucking 20. But now the problem is that these young people that were planted, and they were planted this logic in 2015, 2013, 2012 through the Obama administration. Those plants have fully ripened, and now we are seeing these leftists, these radical extremists, show up in full force, being the battering ram, the means to the end of the institutionalized track trace database technocracy, Orwellian control grid that the globalists would like to achieve. Okay, we cannot lose sight. We cannot lose our we cannot lose our freedom. because we are being caught in the fray right now. Okay, and I am gonna be wrapping this up. We have done a great time. I appreciate everyone in the stream right now. I'm not wrapping up right now, but I'm just kind of letting you know we're landing the plane. We're bringing it down. We are doing one of these. Okay, but I'm just winding it down and understanding that I'm not trying to make enemies of anyone. Carolyn Borisenko, Dr. Carolyn Borisenko, this mean woman with a dream. Revolution will not be gentle. Once upon a time, the workers rose up and built hell of their own making. Red Menace Press, The Communist Manifesto, a revolutionary fairy tale by Carolyn Borisenko. Is she a doctor? That's what I would like to know. I was trying to look into it, but I couldn't find it. But point is, everyone's got a part to play. Everyone's got a role to play in this post-Kirk America. And I was trying to have a conversation with her, but unfortunately she decided to just block me and silence me. So now I have to pull up her website, pull up her information, and yes, she's been on Fox News. Yes, she's reported. Yes, she's done the good stuff. I'm not discrediting her time and effort and energy into all this, okay? However, I just think she is misread or misguided in her intention, and especially how hostile she made it out to be against me. Okay? JJ333, you actually, that's what you get. That's what you get. It's brilliant. She is the most hardcore capitalist this country's ever seen, capitalizing on the left's crazy. I love that. Makes perfect sense. She's trolling all of America. She's doing it in real time. Congratulations, Carolyn Borisenko, the anti-communist cult leader. I kid. I half joke. It is good though, but I mean, I just feel like we could have had a better discourse. I could have been someone here in Colorado that we could have networked. We could have had a good thing. We could have fought the commies together. Anybody willing to call out a communist is a friend to me and a friend indeed. But if you're going to block me and act like a leftist by silencing discussion and silencing debate, I'm going to call you out. And that's what I fucking did. Mad Stork. Keep in mind, Marx's tune costs $6 to visit. Shit, that's great, man. That is great. Oh man. Yeah. So I can see maybe it does sound a little rude. Do enlighten us. We talking dirty bombs or glitter bombs? I was making a joke, folks. Making a joke. Wow, bro, you have no clue. Watch my content and learn, or don't. Whatever. It's whatever. It is whatever. Then. It is whatever. Okay. I'm trying to pull together a team of anti-communist, constitutional conservative crushers. The Crusaders. Wait, how many C's can I fit into it? The constitutional conservative crusaders who crush communism. Boom, baby. That's it. But no, honestly, folks, I'm glad. I appreciate everyone. I want everyone to understand that we are all here in this together, in this post-Kirk America era, okay? This post-Kirk America era. And I want everyone to know that you have to be safe, you have to be sound, you have to be well-educated, you have to understand that communists aren't people, okay? Socialism, communism, Marxism, all of the isms, all of those kill. They're all dangerous. As soon as you lose your personal private property, as soon as you lose your private, your personal rights, your individual rights, okay? As soon as you lose those things, as soon as you lose the Bill of Rights, all these things, what are we even fighting for at that point, folks? I'm going to leave you with Hexeth, okay? I think this is a great cherry on top of the live stream. I appreciate everyone in this live stream. We have a lot. I think it's the most watched live stream to date right now. Got 254 total views so far, which is great. It's awesome. The Consortium of Constitutional Crusaders hold on. Okay. Here we go. The Consortium of Constitutional Crusaders conflated to crush communism and cheer capitalism. Pretty good, pretty good. Department of War, we nailed it today. Let's take a listen to. Let's wrap up cherry on top. This is my favorite part of Hegseth speaking today, folks. Let's have a listen.
To remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department. To rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit.
Hell yeah.
I made it my mission to uproot.
Hell yeah. Yep. The supportive posts for this are amazeballs. Of Hegseth. I mean, it's great. I mean, I will be fair, and I am wrapping up, folks. I appreciate everyone, but being honest and being objective and staying foundational to my logic and to my perspective in my worldview. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, Department of War. His speech was very good. However, there were many times that I got the chills up my neck of a very Orwellian language, very heavily lathered in Orwellian doublespeak, Orwellian, this peace through strength. And I wanted to actually find it. Maybe I can actually find it here really quick. But he kept saying the peace through strength, and it was very reminiscent of that. Hold on. Yeah.
From this moment forward, the only to ensure peace.
Yeah, this is it. All right, we're gonna listen to this. We are gonna listen to this, and we're gonna wrap up after this. But this is, you just have to be a little hesitant when you start hearing the Department of War speak like this, because we don't want war, and we always promote peace, and we want to make sure that we are the toughest guy on the block that doesn't get fucked with. But at the same time, there's always gonna be that person that wants to take the tough guy down, right? Like in Deadpool 2, when the fire, like the Pyro tries to take down Juggernaut, like the biggest dude in the jail. Let's take a listen.
Peace, we must prepare for war. From this moment forward, the only mission of the newly restored Department of War is this: warfighting. Preparing for war and preparing to win. Unrelenting and uncompromising in that pursuit. Not because we want war. No one here wants war. But it's because we love peace. We love peace for our fellow citizens. They deserve peace, and they rightfully expect us to deliver it. Our number one job, of course, is to be strong so that we can prevent war in the first place.
Yes.
The president talks about it all the time. It's called peace through strength.
Yeah, no. Like I am aware, and I agree with this. Like I agree with this language. To me, just on its face value, gives a little bit of this Orwellian kind of double speak vibes, and that's just kind of all I was going to really say to that. But it's important to understand that I still stand firmly with limited government, limited involvement, like fiscal responsibility, rein it all back. But I do believe the responsibility of a federal government is to protect our borders, close all of the foreign bases around the world down, shut them down and bring them home, shut them down and bring our boys home. That's what I think, right? Right. Rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? Something like that. Yeah, I see you, Melindy. I appreciate that. And that's a great way to do it. And that's a great way to think about your health, think about your outlook, think about your life perspective too. I would rather be a strong man doing a simple task than being a simple man doing a strong task, or a hard labor task, right? But yeah, you understand what I'm saying. But I think our government should be focusing on closing these. This will never happen. This is a pipe dream. Like my libertarian mind, really taking seat right now. But shutting down all of our global bases around the world, no longer being the world police, not giving a shit about anyone else. Call me an isolationist. Call me a nationalist. We shouldn't be dealing with anyone else's bullshit for the next 20 to 50 years. And if you touch one hair on any American's head, that's when you get the full force of the peace through strength narrative. That's what I think. And I'm going to leave you with that because, it is important to have a strong military and have that strong presence, but we shouldn't be fighting other countries' wars. We shouldn't be making deals and buddy with this and that and the other. Like we're done with it. Okay? The only thing we need to do is make sure that no one fucks with us. Okay? Be the rattlesnake, right? Coil up and sit back and wait to strike. Don't start provoking shit, right? In my honest opinion, definitely should have added some isolationist language in there to clarify. Yeah, no, and that's kind of, dude, I would rather be an isolationist. I would rather be a standalone in my island of peace. Leave me in my little bubble alone, please. Okay? Gandalf, what do you got to say?
You shall not pass!
Yeah. So, I don't know. Other than that, folks, I really do appreciate everyone in the stream. I thank everyone that was a part of today's live stream. And I don't want to always be the one that has to rip on everyone and call it like it is. And but that's who I am. I'm just gonna call it like it is. I don't want to be picking fights and calling out names. But if I see it, I'm going to say something about it. If I don't agree with it, I have to toe the line. I have to make sure that my thoughts and my opinions are going to be forward and honest. I won't back down. I'm trying to see if I can raid someone else right now. I am going to jump over. We are going to be raiding this fine gentleman. This fine gentleman right here for the last few minutes. I know it's a little late, but maybe we could work out a thing where we don't actually have to cross streams. And I think that's where that's what I'm trying to work on is I don't want to be crossing streams with other people. So with that being said, folks, I appreciate everyone that was here today. We are jumping over to the Quiet Part Pod for the last few minutes of his stream. I know he was on for about the same time I was, but we're gonna change that. We're gonna make sure it works for everyone. But with that being said, folks, I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you follow all my socials. Follow me at Break the Chains M on X. BreakTheChains.media is the website. I love you and I appreciate you. And as always, fight for freedom and never give up.